Okay. Somebody else had a question for him?
Whitner,
Yes, go ahead.
John, the, the depth of the Great Lakes, it's so deep right now in Ecorse Creek and all uphill from Romulus all the way down. So a lot of this flooding was caused by there was nowhere for the water to go. Is that not correct?
That is true for the storm system and, let's say, the roadway flooding. The roads contain or catch the storm water. The storm water goes into the storm network piping, which either ends up into the Ecorse Creek or into the Sexton Kilfoyle, and resultantly so of the Great Lakes. And let's call it all of the waterways in Michigan being up into the flood stage and at their highest levels. Majority of our storm system is presently filled to approximately 85 to 90% because of those water elevations being so high in the Ecorse Creek and the Sexton Kilfoyle drain.
Okay, a lot of people on social media I was watching, they think the water in the streets is toilet water. Storm water and your sanitaries are two separate things. Your sanitary goes into the basin, and your water standing in the road is rainwater. Correct?
This is correct. Back in the mid-'80s, the city of Lincoln Park went through a federally mandated sewer separation, and the sanitary system is sanitary. The storm system goes out through the storm network, and they are not the same.
Thank you, Judge Fikens. Thank you, John.
Okay, James, while we're doing the people that may have had flooding in their basement, what can they do? Is there a claim form and things that they would fill out? What do you recommend them to do?
There is a claim form. It is online. You can find it on our webpage, citylp.com. You can also find it on the city's Facebook page. A post was made over the weekend in regards to this. So please, if you are experiencing the basement backups, go ahead and fill out that form. If nothing else, it'll give us a really good idea of how many basements flooded and the locations. Those forms get turned over to our insurance carrier.
Okay, very good. Lastly, under my comments, tomorrow is a voting day, an election day. So polls open up, I believe, at 7 o'clock. Is that right, Terry? 7 a.m. and they close at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
So get out and vote. If you haven't absenteed already, or you still have the opportunity to cast an absentee ballot tomorrow too, I believe, at the office. Okay, and with that, I will.
May I interrupt, Mr. Mayor, for a minute? I want to comment about you talked about the forms to fill out for the people that have the basement flooding.
Yeah.
Are they getting? I guess that's maybe this is on the city manager's report. But are they getting responses back, whether they're denied, not denied, or whatever? I mean, they fill them out, and there's been some comments about they never get a response one way or the other. And I had a conversation with the city manager today, and about a certain individual that we tried to find out. And I guess my question is, how do we know that they get a response? Is what I did.
Okay, well, I'm going to put that to James, and he can respond on the city manager's report.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and then we will move on to the consent agenda, which is resolved that the following items listed under the consent agenda be approved as presented to the mayor and city council. 1, approved minutes, regular meeting held July 20, 2020. 2, approved minutes, special meeting July 20, 2020, RE closed session. And 3, approved minutes, study sessions, 5 and 20-year CIP funding / July 20, 2020.
So moved.
Out of 20. All right, discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Breeding,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Ross,
Sorry.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. The first action item we have is be it resolved that an ordinance to amend the municipal code of the city of Lincoln Park by repealing chapter 668 and replacing it with a new chapter 668 entitled Fireworks is given its third and final reading and be adopted by title only. The City of Lincoln Park ordains that Part 6 of the codified ordinances for the City of Lincoln Park, Chapter 668, be amended by repealing and replacing it with new Chapter 668 entitled Fireworks. And that's 668.01, use, ignition, or discharge of consumer fireworks.
So moved.
Support.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Breeding,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item has a cover letter from our fire department chief, Chief Martin, and has to do with to waive bid and approve repairs for engine number 42. And in information, the fire department is requesting permission to waive the bidding process and approve repairs to the fire department engine 42. After the new engine was damaged at an accident scene, Apollo Fire, an authorized dealer and maintenance facility of Sutphen fire apparatus, was requested to conduct an inspection, which found critical repairs that are needed to keep the engine operational. Okay.
Before you read the resolution, Chief Martin contacted me today and asked if we could add another line to the end of this that says total cost not to exceed $15,813.25.
25 cents?
Yes. Just at the end of the very last paragraph.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, whereas the new Frontline 2019 fire engine number 41 sustained substantial damage at an accident scene requiring several months to complete repairs. Whereas an inspection of the backup 2002 Sutphen engine number 42 found critical repairs that are needed to keep the engine operational. And whereas Apollo Fire Equipment Company is an authorized Sutphen fire engine repair facility. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Lincoln Park approve the recommendation of the fire chief to waive the bid process and approve Apollo Fire Equipment Company to complete the necessary repairs to keep engine number 42 operational at a total cost not to exceed $15,813.25.
So moved.
Support with question.
Okay, I have a question for the chief, and we are waiving the bid due to the expedient that we have to put this in as soon as possible. Is that the reason why, or explain why we're waiving the bids?
So both, Your Honor, it would be because we're trying to get it in quickly, but also because they're an authorized service facility. We use other vendors to repair other types of fire trucks, but they all tend to specialize in certain kinds. We send the SMEAL out to R&R. They're a SMEAL vendor and dealer. So Apollo Fire is an authorized service facility for Sutphens. So that's why I'm asking to waive the bid process.
Very good. Councilman Higgins, you had a comment, question?
Yeah, to kind of tack onto that question, are they the only authorized dealer?
They're the only authorized dealer close to us, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, just a comment,
Yes, sir.
Councilman Salcido.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Mr. Martin, my only concern, there's 23 concerns on this vehicle. I mean, well, how soon are you going to get this repaired if the other fire truck didn't get hurt? Were you going to take this in anyway?
But those repairs would be made regardless. But now obviously it's more time sensitive. We were able to locate a loaner, so we will have a frontline pumper to use while the repairs are being made. And then we'll continue to keep that loaner while our new engine is serviced. I believe our insurance covers 3 months, so we would keep that loaner for 3 months. These repairs shouldn't take longer than a couple of weeks to make.
All right, thank you. Also, do you have an update on Captain Vance for us?
I do. I just spoke with him through text today, and he is home and doing better. He is taking calls and texts. He asked that people do it during the afternoon hours because I believe he is still resting quite a bit. He's still having quite a bit of dizziness and nausea, but I believe he was going back to the doctor to have that addressed today.
Thank you. We wish him the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Breeding,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next item is resolved that a study session of the mayor and city council will be scheduled for August 17, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. to discuss building department operations. Be it further resolved that pursuant to Governor Whitner's Executive Order 2020-154, the meeting will be held electronically via Zoom.
So move.
Support.
Support.
Okay. Do you have the mover and supporter
I do.
discussion?
Yes, comment, Your Honor, if you don't mind.
Yes, go ahead.
Councilman Salcido, why is it at 5:30? We're gonna need 2 hours prior to our meeting for this?
Figure we should give it a lot of time. There's been a lot of discussion outside of meetings with council members asking questions. So I figured it was a good time to just kind of get it all out and get it done.
All right, thank you.
All right. Further discussion?
Support information for the clerk. Today I presented a resolution supported by myself and Councilman Parkinson to be put on the agenda for this particular meeting to bring the building department in-house. Just wanted to clarify that so there's no confusion when it shows on the agenda in 2 weeks if it gets approved. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Breeding,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. Next action item has a cover letter from Doreen Christian, our Director of Community Planning and Development, Parks and Recreation. And it's in reference to a change order for 1086 White demolition order. And information, when we went out to bid on the above properties, 1086 White was listed as a house only. There was a backward facing garage on the property that I was not made aware of. The demolition contractor brought it to my attention and he put a change order to remove the garage while it was still there. So whereas we went out to bid for the demolition projects on White, Richmond, and Empire, and whereas it was stated that it was house only at 1086 White, and there was also a garage on the property, be it resolved that a change order for Vin Con Incorporated in the amount of $3,000 to remove the garage be approved. Funds to come from CDBG account number 249-044-962D.
So moved.
Support. Support.
Discussion? All right. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Breeding,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. This item is resolved that Joshua Picardo, 874 Farnham, be appointed to the Community Improvement Commission, term to expire May 1, 2023.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, we have discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Breeding,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes.
Your Honor,
Your Honor, I think
just-
we skipped a resolution.
Did I?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we
Number
need to go
4.
back to number 4, just before the change order for the demolition.
The home funding.
Your Honor, I just wanted to point out, if there's anybody watching or listening, but we still have other openings on our commissions and on this commission as well. If they're interested, please let us know. We need the help.
All right, so, rescheduling and shuffling back according, which is what my plan was, has a cover letter from the Community Planning and Development Parks and Recreation Director Doreen Christian. And in background, the city of Lincoln Park is part of Wayne County Home Consortium. The sub-recipient agreements from 2017 and 2018 need to be amended to include home buyer counseling and home purchase assistance for the funds to be used for that purpose. And a public hearing during the regular meeting will give the public an opportunity to provide input on our intent to reprogram the funds for that matter. So we have, whereas it is the desire of the city of Lincoln Park to use home funding for the purpose of home buyer counseling and home purchase assistance. And whereas a public hearing to obtain the views of citizens, public agencies, and other interested parties regarding the reprogramming of home fiscal year 2017 funds, in parentheses, $109,785, end parentheses, and home fiscal year 2018 funds, in parentheses, $147,928, end parentheses, to also be used for home buying counseling and home purchase assistance for qualified low, moderate income individuals and families. Therefore, be it resolved that a public hearing be set for August 17 during the course of the regular council meeting to obtain the views of citizens, public agencies, and other interested parties regarding the reprogramming of home funds fiscal year 2017 and fiscal year 2018 and program income received.
So move.
Support.
Discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Breeding,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. So I think I'm up to date here. We have, next action item is resolved that special event permit number 4 be approved for the Friends of the Lincoln Park Farmers Market to be held in the municipal parking lot adjacent to 2050 4th Street on August 9 and September 13, 2020 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and a holiday market to be held on November 22nd, 2020 next to the Icarus Hall, 1677 4th Street under the following conditions. 2, participants and vendors must comply with Executive Order number 2020-147. 3, subject to cancellation if required by order of the governor, per the recommendation of the police department. Executive Order number 2020-147 states, 1, any individual who leaves their home or place of residence must wear a face covering over their nose and mouth. A, when in any indoor public space, or B, when outdoors and unable to consistently maintain a distance of 6 feet or more from individuals who are not members of their household. And fee paid, insurance filed.
I'll move.
I'll support.
Support.
All right, discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Breeding,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. We now move on to accounts and claims payable, greater than $25,000. Resolved that accounts and claims payable for those items greater than $25,000 be approved as follows. These first two items, the check is released for due date. You have Becker Arena Products, 50% deposit on commercial community center flooring, $35,495.80. Blue Cross Blue Shield, August 2020 retiree med advance plans and retiree and actives, $220,582.12. District Court, August 2020 monthly payment, $49,255.17. GFL Environmental USA, August 2020 city buildings, curbside collection and recycling, $193,137.93. Hennessy Engineers Incorporated, Water Distribution Asset Management Plan, Retention Basin Letter Response, Water Operations, Plan Reviews, DTE Gas Main Replacement and Meter Replacements, Water Main Replacement under I-75, 2019 Concrete Sectioning, Road Bond Reconstruction, and SRF 2020 CDBG Intersection Improvements, Asphalt Resurfacing, Concrete Reconstruction, Concrete Sectioning, Utility Pavement Replacement, $76,528.82. Inland Waters Pollution Control, 2020 Sanitary Sewer Cured in Place Lining, $504,789.30. This next item had check release for due date. MML Workers' Compensation, 2020-2021 Policy Premium, $146,451. Montessori Child Development, a refund of customer overpayment for meter size correction, $48,877.26. And City of Wyandotte, April to June 2020 Downriver Dispatch, $78,501.92.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, discussion?
I just got one question, Your Honor. That's the right number for the refund of customer overpayment, $48,877. Seems a lot. That's why I'm just asking. I don't know what the meter overpayment was. Was it like we charging too much water, or we didn't have the right pipe, or?
Well,
I guess I'm just asking.
Lisa, would you be able to talk on that, or James?
Nope, that would be me.
Okay.
So what happened is when the meter was put into the system, the size of the meter, the incorrect size was put in, which caused it to calculate wrong. So when we were doing an audit of accounts, that one we came across. So it goes back a few years. So they had been overcharged because of the number of digits it was.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all. The number was large. She explained it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Breeding,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Ross, you're muted. Salcido,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes. So we have reached the point in our meeting for our city manager's report. So, Mr. Krzan.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. You guys touched on it really briefly there when we were talking about repairs to the fire truck, but it was pretty amazing a Friday and a half ago, about 10 days ago, to watch Captain Doug Vance walk out of the hospital, and to see so many departments from the area and even further come out to show support was really fantastic and an emotional day, I think, for everybody involved. So that was really good to see. The mayor touched on Sunday morning. We had a significant rainstorm. Over 2 inches of rain fell in a very short period of time. This is another one of these events. These events are becoming more frequent, more intense. These high intensity storms are really wreaking havoc on our system. And I'd be lying if I said there was an easy solution here. And I'd be lying if I said that the solution would have to come only from us in the city. It's going to have to take a regional approach and a lot of cooperation between the different local governments, the county, state. Even at some point, we're going to need some funding, and we're going to have to look to the feds on this. It's going to take a big collaborative effort to really address this issue. Stormwater is a major problem in this area, and it's going to continue until we all start working together. To that end, I have reached out. I'm trying to develop a relationship with the Wayne County Drain Office to really help start pushing this issue forward. This seems like a good enough time to get on the discussion about the claim forms that have been submitted and how that works. So when we get claim forms, what we do is we process them. We send them on through the insurance company. Truthfully, a lot of them are denied, and the residents will be informed, I believe, through our insurance carrier. However, sometimes we do get notice that the residents may have come together and filed a class action suit. In that instance, we wouldn't contact them directly. We would go through their attorney. So that's the typical process with those. So one way or the other, people should either understand that they're part of a class action suit and will work with their attorney, or they should hear from our insurance company. So as we go on here, the city's work share program has ended. Most of the staffing is back to 100%. City Hall is open on Fridays now. But with that, our DPS, our ordinance officers, with a lot of the furloughs, with the initial onset of COVID-19, they are behind. It's pretty obvious with the amount of complaints we've been receiving regarding things like potholes, trees that need trim. We are back. We also actually have now hired and should, by this point, I believe next week, should have all budgeted labor positions filled in the DPS. So we should be moving forward and should be able to really get some stuff done here. Kind of lastly, just a reminder for those who haven't seen, but London is closed over the railroad tracks. So roughly between North Wayne Street and Hazel, you cannot pass London. That'll be closed through this week. Should reopen, I think, this weekend. Also, CCOT last week was closed and has reopened. So if anybody has any questions for me, I'm happy to take them.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'll wait.
Oops.
No, that's okay. I'll wait. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. And James, good evening to you. You touched on two of my issues, and I know a lot of residents today are listening in or watching. The one is the loose gravel. I know we talked about it earlier. It was a pothole filler, and really it was just loose gravel. Do you have an update on that? Or the ones that we tried to repair are going to be re-repaired?
They will have to be re-repaired. It appears that for one reason or the other, the product that was used was substandard. There's no denying that. So we're going to have to go back out and redo those.
All right. The other issue you touched on, which I'm getting a lot of feedback on, is the tree trimming. How far behind are we on tree trimming? And I understand E&J only has one crew. Does the city have a crew also?
Some of our guys have been out doing some of the easier stuff that they can do. E&J has been extremely behind. They've been dealing with the same type of stuff we have. Not working for a little while there, trying to avoid working too closely together, trying to maintain safe distance and proper protocols to help spread the curve of this virus.
All right, last question. Thank you for your time. I've had a couple of emails and text messages from residents on Frank and CCOT. It's like one block off of Dick's.
Yeah.
Stop sign there, but we have cars speeding through, just rolling by. I would suggest maybe you can help me. Should I text or email Chief Waters and see what he can come up with? If we can, what do you think?
So are you saying people are rolling the stop sign?
Yes, we have a lot of footage. The residents have been taking film, and they have a lot of, what should I say? They got a lot of photos showing that people are just kind of flying through the stop sign.
All right, we'll get on it.
Thank you very much.
Through the chair, if I may,
Yes,
Your
sir,
Honor.
yeah.
I got a couple things for the city manager. I talked to about a couple of them today, and quite frankly, the answers didn't quite enthuse me, and I told them that, so I'm being upfront. One of the issues is I went over to Youth Center Park, and I told them that I looked at the tennis court / basketball courts there, and we had the same issue we had last year with the weeds growing out there, and they didn't even touch it. And I know underneath the other city manager we had, John, that was here, we had U.S. Lawns come in, and they promised that they would do some weed cutting for that, and they never even touched it. And, you know, we went round and round with this company because we didn't like, and we were all involved there. The council was all there, and John was there, Zach. And he had meetings with them about our concerns about the weeds, and also weeds at the, I think Councilman Higgins brought up the ban shell having weeds also, and we talked about it. And this is where I'm at on this issue. Either this company can do it or we get rid of them. Okay, we've had this discussion with them. We've had both of them come in here. We've talked to them. John Zeck had personal meetings with them. They were apprised of all the issues that I'm talking about now. And today, the city workers, on the day that things are flooding, they're over there picking up the weeds at the community center. Or, I mean, at the ban shell. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. Okay, and we talked, James and me, and I'm not happy with that. We talked way before James came about that issue, and I think even Councilman Higgins, we talked about using a non-invasive. And yeah, COVID is there, but some of these conversations happened before COVID even hit the city. So I'm in favor of giving this company its due and have a nice day, because, you know, how many times are we going to talk to them? I mean, it looks like garbage when people go over to Youth Center Park where you got weeds as almost as tall as I am, and you know they haven't touched them. And we got this, the DPS workers having to clean up the ban shell on a day that we had floods. I mean, this doesn't even make sense to me as a councilman. Now I'll leave that where it's at, but I'm going to favor next time, maybe next council meeting, maybe doing something. But and that brings me to another thing. We talked about the TPOAM contract. It took a year to get that contract signed. We passed this document back in August, this resolution, August the 5th, about the TPOM contract. And you mean to tell me it takes a year to sign that contract? And James and me had a discussion, and he told him that it was because of the business agent. I find that hard to believe, and I'm not saying anything different than that. It takes a whole year to get a signature when the council passed the resolution on the contract language. There was nothing to do but sign. So somebody needs to get into it more, and I've talked to James about that. I want a better answer, or I want to talk to the business agent myself and find out that's true, because that's kind of garbage. We talked about that. And I hate to be so adamant, but this is crazy. I mean, who's responsible for this stuff? I mean, Matt was here when we had I got the paperwork when Matt presented us on the TPOM contract. You know, why as a councilman do I have to shepherd this? Only because it's right to have it done the first time and done. And we as a council approved this, and I don't know if all you feel that. We all thought the TPOM contract was done, finished, have a nice day, and posted. I mean, I don't know what we're doing if we're passing stuff, with all due respect to the council and the mayor, if we're not having some kind of resolution after a year. I mean, come on, you know, that makes us look bad. And last question I'll leave, which is kind of a thing about the recycling. We talked about it, and we talked about with the landfill, after a period of time, we would look at the tonnage or whatever to see if we could get some reduction. And I know James talked about it, and before that, James Zeck gave us some numbers. Are we close to having some kind of way where we can get some money back from less money we're paying for the tonnage at the landfill in Trenton there, or Riverview at the landfill? And I don't know if it's not or is, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'll leave that to the city manager if he can get back with all of us. But I'll just leave this underneath the city management report to make a comment. Some of this stuff is getting ridiculous. And I'll leave that where it's at. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, James.
All right, anything else for the city manager?
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I talked with the city manager, and I was told, I complained about Prop Spinner Park. not being taken care of. I was told it was going to be taken care of. Again, this is something that was brought up at the meeting that we had with once. They said they would be taken care of from now on. It's not being taken care of. It's a dangerous situation over there. There is enough weeds. A kid could be pulled back in there and something could happen. And I want it taken care of. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. And I have to also say, I am not happy with his company. I voted against them when their contract was up. And I'm going to tell you, I was right. They are not doing their job. Can I have an answer why that is not done?
Okay, James, you're gonna look into that.
Yep,
Anything else?
I'll
for
look
the-
into it. Yeah, I was
anything
told
else?
it was going to be taken care of.
Okay. Anything else for the city manager?
Your Honor, if I may,
Go ahead.
James, if we could please have the Lincoln Park Pride reports and the building reports. And I thought that we had approved a separate company for weed spraying. Have they even begun?
So they tried to get us on the schedule. We had been on the schedule, I believe, last week, but due to weather, they weren't able to come out and spray because you don't want to spray and then have it rain pretty immediately. So I think they have us on the schedule again for this week.
Can you please double check what areas or places they're scheduled to spray?
They're supposed to, I believe, hit the community center and the band shell area. And I'm sure Dennis will nod or throw something if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But he's nodding, so I think that's accurate.
And one other point. As far as the recycling goes, Kim, if we could have numbers, I think we were supposed to get like monthly numbers for recycling.
Yes. Yep.
But I think the thing that we're forgetting is that with COVID, there was a lot more garbage going out. So I don't really see that we're going to see any kind of advantage for the last few months. So that's all.
Okay. Anything else for the city manager? All right. Hearing none, then we will open it up for citizen communications at this point.
I will go ahead and unmute everybody.
To the chair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought I was muted there. That Prop Center Park. Me and Larry Kelsey have been working for about 3 years, and then they talked to Higgins about it, and I talked to John 9 o'clock Monday morning, and it was supposed to be taken care of. They promised Larry, Councilman Higgins, it would be taken care of also. How long do we got to drag our feet with this company not doing their jobs? When they were in City Hall, they said, "Oh, that's a wetlands." It's not a wetlands. Anybody with any intelligence can look and see that's not the right type of foliage for wetlands. They need to get in there and cut that down, or get rid of them, and let's get a new company to come in. Thank you.
All right. Then we will now open it up for the citizen communications.
Okay. Hi, this is Leslie Lynch Olson, if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, before I give you a little bit of update for the farmer's market, there's a date missing off the resolution that was on the special event application, October 4th. And for the November 22nd holiday market, I listed on it, we want to do it at the Mellis Park site.
Well, you did
Isn't
say
that next
adjacent
to the
to.
Icarus Hall?
You said adjacent to the Icarus Hall, which is what
Yeah.
I thought.
Okay.
that
Okay.
that
Yes.
part was
Okay.
in there.
I didn't hear that, so I apologize. But it looks like the October 4th date was not included. That's also on the application. I'm sorry, my handwriting's not the best with the application. I had scribbled it in.
Oh, I apologize. That was up on the,
Yep.
line with the street address, and I
Sorry.
didn't catch that.
Sorry, I apologize.
I did not catch that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What we can, is for the mover and supporter on that, is there an issue with adding the October 4th date?
That would have been Councilwoman Ross and Councilman Kelsey.
I don't have a problem.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Just one thing I want to mention about something new at the market this year for the EBT users that come and we double up food bucks. Double up food bucks right now doesn't have a cap. In the past, there's always been a $20 cap per day. Also, the PEBT card that the parents of the kids that are getting the free lunches through the schools, they can also use that at the market, and it can be used in conjunction with double up food bucks for the fresh fruits and vegetables. And basically come on out this Sunday 11 to 4, and you know, we've been really busy trying to get ready for Sunday. We're going to have one entrance and one exit, so customers can only enter at one entrance, one direction from entrance to exit, and of course masks are required for everyone. We will have 2 hand washing stations, hand sanitizer if it's available. We'll be sanitizing hard surfaces throughout the day. And we'll be marking pavement for social distancing at the vendor booths. And the vendor booths, we've asked them to set them up in such a way that minimizes a customer's ability to touch. We won't have any food sampling, live entertainment, or our children's pop club program. We've been doing that virtually via Zoom the past 6 weeks, and we will not be allowing any dogs except for service dogs. And that's basically it. So we're looking forward to seeing our farmers and vendors. Thank you.
We're looking forward to attending that again.
Thanks.
Right. Anyone else under citizen communications? Okay, I'm not hearing anyone. We'll then move on to oral reports of the mayor and council. Council President Breeding.
Everyone, tomorrow, as the mayor stated, tomorrow's election day. There's a lot of work, a lot of hours have gone into preparation, and I want to thank Carrie and her staff and all of the volunteers that come and work on the elections and have for many, many, many years ahead of time, because they've got a long day in front of them, a lot of work to complete, and I'm sure that everything will go nice and smooth, Carrie. Good luck. That's all.
Open. Thank you, Donna.
Okay. That's all that you have tonight, Council President?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Councilman Salcido.
Yes, sir. I only have 2 quick items also. A&R Music on 4th Street. I've been in business for 43 years. Music store, very nice. Right now they have a buy one set of guitar strings, get one free. I took my guitar up there last week. Their summer hours are from 11 to 4. So before you go to a big box music store, check out our Lincoln Park Music Store A&R. Also, Councilwoman Breeding stole my thunder. Good luck to you, Carrie. You've been working hard, and your staff, volunteers. Good luck tomorrow and the primary day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Councilwoman Ross.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to remind the residents, I think it's worth reminding them that Wayne County, there is a Wayne County resource recovery guide on our website found under the DPS tab. It offers a lot of great information, including places to recycle the household hazardous waste. I personally took a computer to Best Buy and had absolutely no trouble. So that's an option for that. I also want to remind residents that if you have your absentee ballot, please return those. And then, of course, if you go out, just please wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Higgins.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to remind everybody the free food at the middle school for if you have school age kids. It is tomorrow from 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock. They give out food, breakfast and lunch. They will give you 5 meals to get you through the week. And there's a lot of people who need this, and it's been a really good program. And I want to thank everybody who's helping with that. I also want to remind everybody to vote. And I'd like to ask the city clerk real quick, because I know there's some precincts that have been moved because of things that are going on. I'd like her to ask her if she could remind everybody the precincts that are closed and where they have to vote.
Sure. ROP School is been moved over to Lafayette School. So if you voted at ROP, you will need to go to Lafayette tomorrow. So everybody north of Southfield will go to Lafayette School to vote. Capon and Carr have been moved over to the Bandshell. So anybody who lives south of Fort Street or south of Southfield and east of Fort Street will vote at the Bandshell. Those people who vote normally at Hoover, Foote, Pawn, or the Board of Education will be at the Lincoln Park Middle School. So anybody who is south of Southfield and west of Fort Street will be at the middle school.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman, is that all you have?
I have 2 more quick things.
Okay,
I'd like to thank the group that they did a cleanup at Lions Park, and they've been spreading wood chips over there, and they're still looking for help to spread some more wood chips. They slowed down with the rain, but there's a lot of wood chips that got to get moved, and they're looking for some help. And I want to thank those people. And I'd like to let everybody know there's going to be an Ecorse Creek cleanup, and you can get all that information on our website. And that'll be it for tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Councilman Kelsey.
Your Honor, obviously, Kimber, you have my best wishes for tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's going to be a long day. Been there, done that on a different venue. But good luck, and I know you and your team have been working for it, and everything will go fine. I just got 2 issues. One of them is, as the council was aware of, I am the liaison to the assessor. I talked to the assessor today, and there seems to be a dispute going on. When the assessor's contract was signed, there was a contract for individuals to be paid a certain wage if they turned around and got a license and so on and so forth. It seems that when we passed the budget, there was a change in the budget that we as council passed that reduced that amount of money. How we did that, evidently we did it because I got the budget in front of me. But that was a contract, and an assessor is a contractor. He's not a city employee. He's has a contract with the city. So I'd like to understand from Lisa or the city manager what's going on with this. Why are we holding up this person this position we're talking about is one that goes out and drives physically out to the areas in the city and reassesses the real estate. And that's one of the requirements we had for the ARs that all went south when the past assessor somehow didn't get up to the speed. So I'm kind of wondering why we as a council were not told that that was a reduction in the actual budget that we approved. We approved it, and why nobody told us that. So my understanding is that that's the holdup. So next time I would like to be notified if we're changing. We're notified about the police department because the police department eliminated a position. We're all aware of that. But this document was not talked about in open session on the budget, and it's in there, and we passed it. So I guess what I'm saying is another one of those things. I'm wondering what's going on. Why is this happening? And if we're not going to honor the contract, then I want to know why. So whoever can get me that answer, but I'm just telling the council as a whole, because that's why I'm bringing it up here. We passed that budget, ladies and gentlemen, and that wasn't part of the agreement we had with the contractor when we hired him for that position. So I'm just letting you know that I'm upset as a liaison, and I'm telling you because I'm the liaison to the council. My last thing is that we talked about the Vance shell, about people having access and shouldn't have access. Where is that report at? I know we paid for an attorney. I know the attorney did some due diligence. When is that going to come in front of the council so we can discuss that or get a report? And on that, I hope that everybody would vote tomorrow. But in closing, what's going on with this communication with the council? Thank you, Your Honor. Everybody have a nice night.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Parkinson.
Tom is muted.
There he is.
Yeah, I would like to agree with Councilman Kelsey. There's so many things that the council is unaware of. It happens, and it's not brought to our attention. It's ridiculous. Carrie, I wish you the best tomorrow. Everybody get out and vote and have a nice day. And that's all for tonight, I guess.
All right, thank you, sir. Again, our city clerk has a busy day for tomorrow, as do all of our workers. So I will keep my portion of this short. Talking about the budgetary matters, I would think at some point that the assessor did meet with the city management team in reference to that, and that was discussed. But I'll leave that up to the city manager to find out the circumstances of that and give an answer to your questions on that. On this past week, I was able to go over to the police department where they were honoring a longtime employee, but not a longtime employee of the police department, but one that was in service to the police department. There are a lot of little contractors and things that help out the police to make sure that they get their job done right. And for anyone that has been on the road with an arrest, waiting, or an accident scene, waiting for a record to pull up, you know that is so important, especially if they're quickly. We had a person by the name of Tom Mandernach who has, through Lincoln Park Collision and through City Towing, has devoted 40 years of his life to taking care of that and to going through and to assisting the department in a timely fashion and so that the officers could do their job more effectively. He is retiring after 40 years, so I just wanted to offer his congratulations to him and our thanks for that service. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Support.
All right, clerk, call the roll.
Councilperson Salcido,
Yes.
Parkinson,
Yes.
Breeding,
Yes.
Higgins, Kelsey,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
and Mayor Carnes.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody, and
Good night,
remember to vote.
everyone.
Yep.
Don't forget to